Hi guys, it's Red. I've been meaning to get a video tutorial up for the longest time, and I keep getting requests on how to do how to become Thrall, essentially, how to become an orc. For those that don't know, for BlizzCon 2013, I dressed as a female version of Thrall in the shaman costume, and that required many hours of makeup and practice and all that stuff. Um, this video is not the makeup tutorial, and I apologize in advance. I will get to doing that one day. It's just I haven't figured out how to word it's a little more difficult than just slathering on green makeup, and that's both why it worked and why it's so hard to explain. But this is a video kind of tutorial on how I made my tusks for my orc thrall costume. Yeah, so these are my tusks. Is my camera gonna focus? Nope. Alright. Now? No? No, it's not. Okay, anyway. So these little guys are my tusks. I made them by myself, and it took a lot of experimenting, to be honest. They're a little stained from the face paint and my lipstick that I was wearing in costume, so that kind of sucks. First and foremost, I am not really a professional when it comes to anything inserting into your mouth, okay? But there are next to no tutorials or information on what to do to make tusks and to make, I guess, veneers and things of that nature for certain costumes and certain characters. And I've seen a lot of suggestions and forums online that have really horrible advice. And I don't want to be that guy, but please, if someone ever recommends putting Wonderflex in your mouth, don't do it. Don't clay, anything that's potentially hazardous. Don't do it. If you're going to be making tusks or teeth or anything, make sure you're using safe materials. And that's why I ended up making these guys myself. So in sharing this with you guys, I want to make sure that you guys are doing this in a safe manner. My only experience is that I've spent thousands of dollars in a dentist chair. Anyway, so the way that I started these was just experimenting with the shape and the size. And you would not believe it. Sorry, I got my little kit ready to go. But I started with an acrylic nail. And I just bought like a big ass ton of acrylic nails, and I started with one this small, like a little pinky. I ended up rounding the edges, sharpening the edges so that they come up to like little points. And if you were to look at the very front of the fang, which you won't be able to see because the camera's not going to focus because the camera's a dick right now. Okay. The very front of the tooth is the acrylic nail that's embedded in there. That was my base that I worked with. Hi! That was my base that I worked with. It's not touching my tooth at all. The back, if you look at the tooth, it's actually got a lot of bulk to it. There we go. Here we go. So that's the tooth. And the inside is not pretty at all, but that's a bunch of like dental gel in there. So the way that I was able to shape this guy was I took the acrylic nail that I now misplaced. I am amazing. I'm really bad at these things on the camera. But anyway, I took my acrylic nail, shaped it, and what I found was friendly plastic is actually safe to put in your mouth within certain limits. I was looking into different sort of false teeth to use for Thrall initially, so in my searching, I found these sort of veneers that I was able to find in a Halloween shop. And if you look on the inside, that's all, it's pretty much the same thing as friendly plastic, it's just all in there. And yeah, this has an imprint of my teeth, and I tried to get it to work and it looked terrible. But all you do is heat this up in boiling water and it becomes transparent. And when that becomes transparent, the white becomes moldable. The white plastic becomes moldable to whatever shape adheres to it. And it's safe to put against your teeth. It's not going to rip your enamel. It's not going to hurt you. These items would not be sold over the market if these things were going to do lasting damage. And also you're going to be using this for maybe you know, a couple of hours at a convention, you know, that's it. So I took one of these and I scooped out whatever plastic that I had, and it came with extra plastic pellets. Again, friendly plastic, you get the little pellets. Boil it in water, and all I did was literally, this is all the friendly plastic. So I shaped the tooth to what I needed, and you can reshape it, you can reheat it, and constantly reshape it to whatever shape you want it to be. So that's what the tooth is made out of. It's an acrylic nail in the very front, right here in the middle, which is why there's a bit of a color difference, and then all friendly plastic. Now, the inside, now if you're going to, you could do loose molding over your teeth, but it's not going to sit correctly. It's not going to sit in place. You're going to need that sort of dental gel pellet stuff that comes with, mostly with the Scarecrow Halloween teeth. I learned this all from Halloween. This is amazing. But these little gel packets that come in most Scarecrow kits. Mix it, you put it inside the indented part of your tooth, and then it'll adhere to the grooves of your teeth, so it'll get a nice shape and fit. Another thing to note is that your bottom jaw is set back a little further than your upper jaw, than your skull, really. So when you're making tusks, you want them to stick out a little bit. That's why there's a little bit of a protrusion. This is the back part. My tooth sits here, and I want it to come forward a little bit, so the tooth has a little bit of a scooping motion going on. Nothing too severe. This is just how I modeled it, and this worked for me. In hindsight, I should have molded it a little better to have more of a front curved shape, because at some points when I was first putting it on, I eventually got used to it, but at first it hurt my jaw because my jaw was pushed forward when I had these in. It added to the effect of the character, it did, but at the same time, it wasn't the most comfortable, so I had to take them out every now and then. I was also comparing teeth with the other cosplayer who was dressed as Garona during the BlizzCon costume contest, Avery Faith, and we were comparing notes on how we made our tusks, and hers were significantly more forward than mine were, so just something to keep in mind for when you're doing lower teeth. So now, these are molded to the shape of my teeth. Let me see if I can pop them in without a disaster happening. They should fit once you find a spot. Unless you're doing it on... Am I doing it backwards again? I don't think so. Yeah. I think... Am I doing it backwards? I might be. I am. Okay, so there we go. And it'll just fit in between the grooves of my teeth. So, there we go. These are my tusks. I can't talk. And smiling is a little awkward, but for... This guy wants to pop out. For photos and everything else, they get the job done. So, set my jaw a little more forward. Not uncomfortable for me at all. But I really keep my lip low, just so you could get the tusks to stick out. But again, this guy really doesn't want to stay in right now. But again, if you're doing something more photogenic, you might want to make them a little longer. You might want to make them a little more forward-facing. I don't always have trouble coming out. Oh, there we go. This one doesn't like coming out. But again, that's to you and your, whatever you want to do, whatever you need to do for what you're creating. But as I said, just make sure that you're using safe materials. These are all, I'm assuming they're all FDA approved. I don't know. But these are all made to go into your teeth. All the pieces except for the nail. And again, the nail is not touching your tooth at all. It's the very front, which is the base of the shape of the tooth. So I really hope that was helpful. 10 minutes of me yammering on about teeth. And hopefully I will be able to get that makeup tutorial up, or at least a slight explanation of the makeup tutorial. Maybe I'll do that after this. I don't know. Maybe I'll be brave enough. We'll see. But hopefully this helps you guys if you guys need to make any teeth and things like that. So those are my teeth. Yay! Alright, and good luck.